Okay, now I want to show you how to take a 2D image and turn it into a 3D shape. I'm going to do it using a shape that you've probably already drawn in your past before. I'm going to use that sort of like kindergarten car that everyone drew when they were kids. It's like kind of like that upside down T sort of shape, right? We have a two-dimensional upside down T shape. It's a car. I'll show you how to extrude that and turn it into a three-dimensional object, or how to represent it as a three-dimensional object on 2D space. So 3D involves one axis, two axes, three axes, X, Y, Z. Now I'm going to take the car here and turn it into a rectangle. Now this will work on any shape, but this specific shape is really easy to do and therefore really easy to teach, and it's not necessarily going to work the same way for everything. You have to look for relationships between the rectangle and the shape, and then figure out how to extrapolate that and put that here. So I'm going to get rid of this part of this third axis here because it's just going to be visually confusing. And I'm going to put the plane that this is the rectangle onto these two axes here. That's good right there. I think it's pretty parallel. Let's clear that line a little bit more. Now I'm going to find the middle of this rectangle by doing an X like we always do. It's right there. I'm going to find the middle of this rectangle the same way. Finding an X. I'm going to give it a plus sign. Now that I know where the middle is. And I've already started to see this first relationship pop up. The hood of the car is half of the height. So now I need to figure out how to get this right here. So I'm going to show you a trick first of all. No, I'll make the trick in a different video. I'll make a V here to the middle of the thing. Now when the V intersects the X right here, that's always 1/3. 1/3, 1/3. I was trying to do 1/3 when I drew it. So this part's at a good 1/3, but this part's a little bit further back. That's fine. So now I know I have a good idea of how to represent the car here in 2D on the 3D plane. So I gotta draw my V to get my 1/3. This 1/3 right here, we know that it lines up with that one because it lines up here at 1/3. So we're gonna do that, and we know it's half the height, so it goes right there. Now for this one, it's a little bit further back, so let's just make it a little bit further back, right there. Now, when you do this with any other shape, it's not necessarily always going to be the 1/3 mark. In fact, it's probably not going to always be the 1/3 mark. All I'm doing here is finding relationships in the shape that I'm using. The next step is figuring out how wide you want your car to be. And in order to do that, you draw another plane on the ground like this. So from this corner right here, I'm going to go front to back on this one because things in the front will overlap things on the back, which means that there's fewer things that you have to draw. So I'm going to go straight up from this line right here, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take this from this part right here, I'm going to follow this axis here, parallel to that, until it reaches that line. That's that first corner, that first edge of the car. Then I'm going to draw from here along this axis, like that. From here along this axis, like that. From here along this axis, like this. From here along that axis, like that. so on and so forth. Now, it looks a little wonky. It will always look wonky. This particular shape, it's how you drew cars as a kindergartner. It is not going to make a good car if you keep it the way it is, but what you can do is use it as guidelines to get your car looking pretty good by using tracing paper. And with that, you officially have every car you'd ever need to draw from this angle right here, as long as you're using tracing paper. So if you do this, I recommend saving it and using it in the future.